Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 22 and another part of our My Team career mode with Brawn GP. Today we are back with the British Grand Prix, a track I've always done well at. I know a lot of people struggle around Silverstone, but we tend to get decent results around here, so hopefully we can improve continue our record here today. But it has been an interesting season so far. Last episode was an absolute car crash. But yeah, we will see how it goes going forward. I mean, hopefully we will, never see glitches like that in the game again. But we did manage to finish second on the podium. Only 3 cars finished. Esteban Ocon winning the Grand Prix, meaning that he moves up to 6th in the championship, just behind Lewis Hamilton for Mercedes. And we are comfortably in the top 10 now. And secure, 7th, a little bit more in the championship. We got to be happy with that. And we have opened up the possibility of getting another sponsor. So let's head out there and see what we can get. So weekly income-wise, we can hopefully grab another good sponsor. So Uterp, out-qualify your rival, score 10 Constructors Championship points. That's not really going to happen. Achieve fastest lap, beat your rival, complete a clean race, score more points than the team directly above you. I mean, that's just not going to happen. Achieve a top 12, qualifying P15 or better. I mean, that could happen. Overtake 10 different drivers. Wow. I mean, some of these are almost impossible. Complete a race with no DNFs. I mean, that's perhaps something that we could go for. What's that? Overtake 5 different drivers. During practice, that would be. 30 laps during a race weekend. Yeah, let's go for that one. That's quite a high bonus, and yeah, I think that's decent. Right, customization, player car liveries. There is a new one unlocked. Let's have a little look. Okay, cool. Right, so let's head on to the sponsor decals, and perhaps change this one to Indlovu, or what is it? Zigzag. Yeah, we don't want any there. Maybe zigzag up there. Yeah, that looks kind of cool. Like that. We got distort. Yeah, that looks good. And a zigzag there as well. Nice. Awesome. Clothing. We've unlocked a new suit apparently as well. There you go, that blue suit. Some new gloves. Yeah, nice. A new character pose, which is dust off. No. New podium emote as well. Let's have a little look. Brum brum. I do quite like that one. Let's do that. Any victory radio calls? No. No. Okay. Right. Let's have a little look at the driver market. Our teammate now worth 2 million. I mean, he's certainly getting more expensive. Jenson Button has gone up as well. I feel like he was 4 million before. But yeah, I mean, if Piastri gets much more expensive, it might become more worthwhile to go for somebody like Hulkenberg. Right, let's head into the chassis department. We need to get another one on the production line. So that's going to make not too much difference. That's going to make a significant difference. Oh, that's even better, I think. Yeah, let's go for that one. Monocoque structure. Let's go for that. And we can have that in time for France, which I think is going to be a good race for us. Really enjoyed driving France last year. And, well, there you go. I mean, you can see we are making progress towards that midfield. We're pulling away from Aston Martin and Williams, and hopefully we're going to be in that midfield battle very, very shortly. So we can be happy about that. Right, let's set up some stuff. We'll go for a funded team event. What else do we want to do? We certainly don't want to reduce the morale of anybody. So we'll do sponsors headquarters. And a driver external training. That seems good to me. Let's push on. Anything
We're
else?
in a position now where we're able to attract a new sponsor to the team. Head on over to the corporate tab and select the sponsors screen to choose who we should approach. An upcoming news article has a question they'd like your input on.
And these are our potential rivals. I mean, they are going to be difficult. Let's go for Danny Rick though, because we have had good battles with him.
You handled that well. Thank you.
Okay, let's keep going. Nice. Don't think we've got any updates coming before Britain. No, they're all coming at the start of July, which should be before the next Grand Prix. Obviously, we're going to skip that. I mean, Pirelli Hot Laps, I just don't really get why they were ever added in. I don't know who was asking for them. I certainly wasn't. But it is what it is. And we are heading now to the British Grand Prix. And of course, we are going to be back up to 50% races for this one. So leave a like if you enjoy. And I will catch you for qualifying. Well, we have just set a purple Sector 2 here. The pace is looking fantastic in this Brawn GP car around here. The car just feels brilliant. And here we come round the final corner. Where are we going to put it? It's going to be a 1:29.7, which is second place at the moment, just behind Max Verstappen, and there's definitely more time to be found in this car, and you can see straight away 2/10 up if we can nail that first corner, which could extend to 3/4 tenths up if we continue it round the lap.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now.
This is huge. And well, with 3 minutes to go in the session, I actually feel like we're in a position to just sit in the garage and watch the world go by. We are nearly 2 seconds ahead of our teammate Oscar Piastri. But yeah, let's see how we get on over the next few minutes. You can see Oscar Piastri there, 14th place in the speed trap. That's where we've really had a big advantage this weekend, has been our speed trap times. And well, let's see where we come out of Q1. Surely not. The track has evolved a lot. Oh, 16th. We just make it through by less than 1/10 of a second. Wow, I cannot believe that. But Piastri, a long way off the pace. He couldn't hook it up. But it was a lot closer than I expected it to be. So the track is ramping up. It's going to be exciting. We'll have to be there for the end of Q2 to get through Q3. That is for sure. But I think it's on the cards. Go on then, let's take you on a lap of this Silverstone circuit in this Brawn GP car in Q2 as we gear up for the first corner. And you can see, absolutely nailed that. A little touch of the curb throw us a little wider than we'd have liked, but no lock-up. And then just trying to hit the apex, get on the power nice and early. DRS will be enabled as we fly around the corner onto the Hamilton straight, and no, not the this is the Wellington straight. The Hamilton straight is the pit straight, and there you go, a purple Sector 1 so far, 28.1. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the session, whether we can improve on that or not. And now heading towards Old Turn 1, Cops of course, as we fly past the old pit lane. And it's how much do you dare carry the speed through that corner. Oh, we nearly threw it out wide there. But now going into Maggots and Beckett's for the first time in this qualifying. 2. A little bit wide. Come through the second section there. And it's purple Sector 2 as well. 1:05.0 after 2 sectors. This is a definite improvement on our Q1 time into Stowe. And we hold it. The tyres are starting to give way a little bit, but we come down into the final couple of corners. And we're going to throw it round onto the Hamilton straight, and we're going to straighten the wheel all the way up to the line, and it's a 129.5, a 2/10 improvement on what we had before, and that's the first time that we've went purple in a session ever, and, you know, faster than the likes of Fernando Alonso, Yuki Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher now, and Charles Leclerc I don't think has put in a terrific time, but there goes Max Verstappen. He just smashes it out of the park at 128.8, so we're not quite in that league today, but I definitely think we are in the league of top 10 here. Magnussen goes P3, so we'll definitely see, but I'm sure the track will ramp up again. Well, with 3 minutes to go, we are currently in 6th place, just behind our compatriots George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, but 5/10 within the drop zone at the moment. Charles Leclerc, of course, is going to be a lot quicker than that 130.8 suggests. I'm expecting everybody to jump up into the 129s. Everybody did do a 129.7 in Q1 to get through, so I'm expecting that to improve, but we'll get out there and we'll see what sort of time we can put in. The track's going to have ramped up. It's going to all be about this final lap. Can we get through to Q3 for only the 2nd time this season? Well, here we come round the final corner. It's going to be a slight improvement, and we do get through in P7 in the end. A slightly better time there, but didn't seem the track was really improving too much. I think there's maybe another couple of tenths in it, but yeah, nobody managed to get that close, really. And we are through to Q3 for only the 2nd time this season, and currently looking like best of the rest. Here we come then round the final corner for our first run in Q3. What's the time going to be? It's a 129.7, so back to our Q1 time. We know there's at least 2 tenths to be found in that. We did a 129.5 in Q2 to get through to Q3, but currently 5th place. Here we go then, gearing ourselves up. This is our final lap. We are going to be the final man over the line, and we are underway in our final qualifying lap of this session. A little bit wide in turn 1, and that's going to cost us, unfortunately. We had to sort of back out of it, otherwise we were going to cut the corner. Now have to make up time in other places. It's amazing though, we are nearly a tenth up despite the poor start to the lap. You have to go for it more. But yeah, just pushing the car too hard now. But we are gaining time in certain areas, losing time in others. Through Cops, and that's a better run through there, but certainly not our best, nowhere near where we should have been. Maggots and Beckett's. We're through. Oh, 2 tenths up. And 2 tenths currently up on Perez. So it's all going to be down to the final sector. And these final couple of corners. The tyres screaming for dear life, but we just about hang on to it. Round the final couple of corners, it's not going to be much of an improvement. It's going to be 2.5 tenths, and that gets us up into 7th place. That is an excellent qualifying for us. And funnily enough, that is exactly where our team predicted us to be after our qualifying sims in practice. We have managed 7th place.
Complete, let's review our top 3 today. Verstappen, Leclerc and George Russell. Qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Well, we know we're quick in the speed traps. We know we are fast on the track. Tomorrow is going to be an incredible Grand Prix. I really can't wait. I really, really can't wait for this. This is going to be awesome. 7th place. I think if we absolutely hooked it up, perfect lap, we'd have probably only been 5th ahead of Lewis Hamilton. I don't think we could have got close to certainly the top 2. George Russell has put in an immense lap for P3. I don't think we're on that level. So it's all about the race tomorrow. Starting 7th at our home race.
Welcome to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone Circuit for today's Grand Prix. The 3.6-mile-long Silverstone Circuit is one of the longest of the season, with 18 corners in the current layout. With average lap speeds reaching around 145 miles per hour, it's also one of the quickest tracks of the year. Watch out for cars taking the right-handers of Abbey and Copse flat out. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position. Charles Leclerc alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Sainz, Sir Lewis Hamilton and Perez. The captain, Magnussen, Ocon and Lando Norris. Mick Schumacher, Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda and Fernando Alonso. Vettel, Zhou, Alex Albon and Daniel Ricciardo. Bottas, Latifi, Stroll and Oscar Piastri. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who is beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about the captain. That was a great podium in the last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
Okay, and we are back on the track, and it's looking like we are going to be going mediums and then hards in this race. I don't think it's worth a two-stop at all. We're going to start on the medium tyres, turn onto the hard tyres a little bit later on. Tyre wear shouldn't be too much of an issue, so let's go for it. Let's try our very best with it, and let's head into the race.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring their planned strategies are all in place.
Okay, so we are ready and raring to go in this British Grand Prix. The only way you feel is backwards, but we will try and battle for position. We will try and get up there in this Grand Prix. I just, fingers crossed, no glitches, because I think this could be an absolutely classic F1 22 Grand Prix. Looks like Piastri has took a new engine, by the way. He was starting at the back anyway. That's a good tactical decision from him. And here we go, ready for the lights. It's lights out and away we go here in Great Britain. It's a great start off the grid for Kevin Magnussen, and he flies round our inside for the first corner, and we hold the outside line. And now we're going to go down the inside of K-Mag. Need to make sure we keep it clean. A little bit of a spin there. Tyres are definitely feeling a little bit colder than they usually do at this stage of the Grand Prix. George Russell coming under pressure from Carlos Sainz behind, and we lose a little bit of ground to Kevin Magnussen at the start of this Grand Prix, but we know that we have got the pace certainly to get back past him throughout this Grand Prix. But we still got side-by-side action up ahead with Sir Lewis Hamilton side-by-side with his teammate George Russell as they head towards Copse Corner, and Russell slots in behind Lewis Hamilton. We have got Lando Norris potentially going to have a look at us into Copse Corner, but we are absolutely fine. And actually, you know, I'll certainly take this start. I was worried there was going to be some contact into the first couple of corners, just with what happened in real life, of course, and you know, I did think maybe that would be replicated in the game. Sergio Perez is now having a little look at George Russell, so he has had an awful start. A brilliant qualifying yesterday, Mr. Saturday, who has become Mr. Consistency this year. He, unfortunately, has had a very, very poor start, and Perez still side by side with George Russell, and they're battling, and that is allowing ourselves and Magnussen to catch up. They are still side by side as they go down the Hamilton straight, and Magnussen now in the slipstream as we head into turn 1, and they're still side by side, and Magnussen has to take himself out of it, but Norris now having a little look around the outside, but we fend that off valiantly. I think if we get a good exit here, we've got a chance. Perez now looks like he's going to get through on George Russell, but Russell still holding it round the outside, and this is just unbelievable racing down the Wellington straight. Perez has got the inside line, Magnussen is keeping a close eye, and we are in the background waiting like a vulture to pick up any of the pieces. And Russell somehow has stayed in front after a lap of being side by side with Sergio Perez. We have now got right into the slipstream of Kevin Magnussen, but it's not going to be this lap that we go down the inside of Copse, that's for sure. But Russell seems to be pulling away. The top 4, by the way, because of this battling, have just checked out, and it will be very, very difficult to catch those, as Lando Norris thinks he can have a little look at us. Doesn't though, although he's now side by side with Esteban Ocon behind, and this is crazy, this start of the race, but we will certainly settle for it. Looks like it's going to settle down now. Russell just ahead of Perez. Of course, DRS becomes available next lap. That's where things could get interesting, as Russell has locked up. He'd done the hard work there. He had done the hard work, and now he's allowed Perez back in. And that's allowed us to let Norris back in. DRS enabled this lap.
1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
As we go a little bit wide into turn 1 and get our first warning of the day. That could be crucial later on, because that was definitely an avoidable one, but we are going to have DRS coming up here. We use a little bit of ARS out of the corner to try and get right on the back of Kevin Magnussen, but Perez can't get close enough to George Russell, which is interesting. But what a start to this British Grand Prix. I said it could be crazy, and I still think it can be, because look at the exit we've got off there. Now can we get right into the slipstream of Magnussen? Not close enough this time. I think we've just got to try and stay close through Maggots and Beckett's and onto the hangar straight. Gonna hold it in. Yeah, that's good. DRS enabled. But we have got Norris right behind us. He'll be looking to make a move, but our straight line speed too good today. And Perez is now having a little look with George Russell. Looks like there was some contact, definitely some contact between ourselves and Norris there. As Norris still having a look, we're going to give him the room. But then close that door. Now, Verstappen is in the pit, so I don't know what's happened to him, but we've now dropped off the back of Magnussen, so it's going to take us a couple of laps to get back towards his DRS. Well, here comes Lando Norris with the DRS. We're going to give him the room into store, but I think we've just got better straight line speed, so that's going to save us from a lot of heartache today, you feel. But we need to close in on K-Mag now.
Gap to your teammate behind is
Well, there's Kevin
9 seconds.
Mick Schumacher making his way past. That was a really good move from Schumacher down the inside there of turn 1. He's going to be under pressure though here. If we can get a good exit, which we can. A bit of ARS deployment. DRS open. And we begin to close in on Schumacher, but it's not going to be quite close enough. But the Haas cars look very, very quick in race trim. That is for sure. Wow, we go for the inside. We hack the grip. and just went for it, and Schumacher had to back out of it, otherwise there was going to be contact. But we are back through, up into 7th place here. We've got Mick Schumacher having a look down the inside of Copse, and we hauled it round the outside. That was unbelievable. But Schumacher could have made a move on us there. That would have been quite ridiculous, really. I'm trying to hold it together here. Now Mick Schumacher might have a chance. We're going to take the outside line here. He's going to have DRS. He goes down the inside. We break a little later. Leave him the room. He's going to try and force us out wide. And now we've got the inside line. Who's going to come out on top? Oh, we just about do, but we're leaving him the room. And we are through, and Norris could use this as an opportunity to get past Schumacher. But all of this is allowing Kevin Magnussen to pull away, and he himself is catching Perez and Russell.
So we're leading our teammate by
Well, there goes Mick Schumacher down the inside again. But we hold it round the outside and we are through. I mean, we've just put in a personal best lap time there, and Schumacher still getting close enough to overtake us, but we have stayed ahead for now, and now Lando Norris has got the opportunity behind us to potentially have a little go, but them two are still side by side, Schumacher and Norris, and we're just keeping ourselves to ourselves for now.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
There goes Lando Norris through, but he goes too wide, and we switcheroo him. He finally got the move done, and then now he's dropped way behind because he went too wide at that corner. We're going to come into the pits this lap. We're going to risk it. Coming in a lap early, trying to get an undercut on the new hard tyres. It's a risk, but one that I think we need to take to try and shake these guys, because they are slowing us down. Perez and Russell are fighting hammer and tongs. Magnussen back into that battle now. But here we come, round Stowe. And towards the pit lane, we're going to make our pit stop. So here we go.
And it looks like the pit crew
And
are
we're
out
in.
in the lane and ready to perform their magic.
Wasn't our best pit entry, let's be honest.
Pit stop time possible.
But Charles Leclerc, he's leading the way. Perez is in as well. He's looking... Oh, maybe he's got a bit of wing damage, because that is taking a while. And there you go, Perez is away. But right behind us. Now I'm hoping that we come out in front of Bottas. That's what I'm hoping. Good pit stop. 2.7 seconds. And we can go till the end of the Grand Prix on these fairly easily, you would imagine.
Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres.
Yeah, that Bottas is just behind us, so it's really important that we get these tyres up to temperature and that we stay ahead of Valtteri Bottas, because this could cost us if we can't get these tyres up to temperature quickly. Here we come then, round the final corner. Quite a few guys in the pits. As Valtteri Bottas having a little look down the inside. That was pretty crazy. And that's Fernando Alonso that's come out ahead of us. I'm not really sure how that's happened. But Fernando Alonso is ahead.
He's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound.
I'm hoping that that's not a sign of things to come. Bottas having a look there. Alonso trying to get the tyres up to temperature. We could have a little look here into Copse, and we do, and that was a lovely move, gorgeous move down the inside of Copse. We just had the momentum, and we had to take the chance there. And now everybody else is going to be in the pits,
Oscar in the pits.
ready to come in, and you can see everybody is, and well, we've got also trying to come back at us. We're leaving them the room, but we're fine. It's all going to be about where Schumacher is. So here we go. Coming through. I think we've come out well behind. Yeah, we have. We've come out behind Ocon, Norris and Schumacher. So the undercut did not work. But they're on cold tyres, and we know how hard it was to warm up these hard tyres. We now need to get close to them. There are yellow flags up ahead. And there we go again. That's becoming our own, that overtaking spot round the inside of Esteban Ocon, and now we're closing in on Norris and Schumacher. We need to get close to them. So within a second, hopefully, and get back up to 7th place. Oh, Schumacher having a go at Norris there, but it didn't work out. Schumacher's now under a lot of pressure to us. But remember, he's got the fresher hard tyres. Once they're up to temperature, his will be in a better state than ours.
Manage your tyres.
Well, Schumacher's fell out of the DRS zone to Norris, so we use the DRS to close in nicely there. And Bottas has managed to pass Fernando Alonso as well, so it's all very interesting now as we get our second and final warning. And there goes Bottas again. He's still down our inside, but can't make it stick. We're just so much better through this section of the track than the drivers around us, but Norris, much like at the start of this Grand Prix with Magnussen, he's managing to get away because of this battling behind. This could be the run. This could be the run. We are right in its slipstream. We are close to Mick Schumacher now. And we've got the inside line. And we go through. A little bit of contact as we went through.
Good work. Great pass.
But I feel like that was on Mick Schumacher. We got nice and close. Right in its slipstream. And then we pulled out to the inside. And yeah, he sort of caught the back tyre a little bit there. And I just hope that he's not going to be heading into the pits. I feel like we should flashback that because that was definitely a distraction. So yeah, we came around the corner. This was about where we were up to, but yeah, now we got to push on Lando. Not going to be easy though. Well, there are 3 laps to go, and we are closing in
20.0 seconds
on Lando Norris within a second and a half, but we need to get into that DRS zone. And that is going to be tricky over 3 laps, but we will try.
Enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Well, we've got in the DRS zone somehow. And now this is a real chance because this DRS is going to get us close on the next 2 laps. I think final lap we could have Lando Norris here. This is going to be an exciting finish. Okay, so final lap. Can we make the move on Lando Norris? That's the question. We're going to try everything. We need to stay close through here.
Okay, we've only got 1 lap of fuel remaining.
This is our closing up DRS zone. We've got to get within sort of half a second through Maggots and Beckett's, you feel, if we are to have any chance whatsoever. But Lando Norris is pulling away from us somehow. It's more than a second ahead now. Final run through Cops, and I don't think it's going to happen. Norris has kept enough in the tank. We're not going to be in the DRS zone. No, it's not going to happen. And Bottas somehow has got to within a second of us. I don't know where he's come from. But it looks like Lando Norris is going to stay ahead of us unless he makes a mistake into these final couple of corners. Which he's not going to. So we come up to the checkered flag. And we are going to finish 8th in this Grand Prix. We'll definitely take that. That was an exciting British Grand Prix.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit, familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari, do it again. So let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Charles Leclerc, currently leading the championship standings, extends his lead even further with this result. So let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for your driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, there you have it then. Charles Leclerc wins the British Grand Prix ahead of Carlos Sainz, his teammate, in second. Lewis Hamilton finishes third for Mercedes, with George Russell recovering to fourth after a terrible start, seeing him as low as sixth at one point. Sergio Perez finishes fifth, with Kevin Magnussen sixth, Norris seventh. We finish in eighth, Bottas ninth, and Mick Schumacher down in 10th. Max Verstappen recovered towards the end of the race to get back into 11th position, but couldn't get back into the points after an early incident. And only the one DNF, Nicholas Latifi, Oscar Piastri, managing to finish just above Lance Stroll in 20th. That all means for the drivers' standings, we are up to 9th ahead of Valtteri Bottas, 44 points. I mean, by the end of the season, I do think we'll probably level out at more like 12th position in the championship. Constructors wise, we are still in 7th, of course, 19 points ahead of McLaren, who again I'm sure are going to overtake us before the end of the season. But if we can finish 8th this year, that will be a massive result for us. But it has been an awesome British Grand Prix. I've thoroughly loved driving this track, and another track that I really enjoy driving on the game is next time out in France. So if you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.